This episode is brought to you by CrowsTail Brewing Company. Crow's Craft, the nonconformist. Consumption of alcoholic beverage impairs your ability to drive a car or operate machinery and may cause detrimental health problems. Drink responsibly.
And it was towards the end of the movie, and I was supposed to be shot. I fall into the pool, face down, okay, and supposed to be dead, right? Floating like that with the blood oozing out of you and everything. And then the last scene is, so everybody thinks you're dead. She stands by the pool. They're having their moment by the poolside, you know, the lovers.
Yeah.
And I grab the leg of Marisa Laksa. So I'm not dead pala. Okay? Man, at that point, my freaking fake boob, padding pa nun eh, di ba? Padding. Freaking floats to the top of the pool.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna prep her, we'll go right in straight to one, no?
Yes. Hey, Don! Forgot you're such a night owl, man.
Yeah, man. Normally, not since I've been with this guy because he sleeps at 9.
Oh, dude! What are you doing, man? You wanna join us?
A good one. I'll cheers to you guys.
Here's it. Right there, babe. Here, no? Here.
Right there, yeah.
Here. Okay, I see the camera now. I haven't seen this long hoser, so I'm totally like,
Man, this is gonna be unlike any of the interviews you've ever had. I've had already, a few, here and there, poco de cannabis.
yeah, no, I've seen all your interviews. They're quite wild, man. They're quite wild. How you been,
Anyway.
hoser?
Good. Yeah, it's, the thing is, we tried, during the lockdown, right? You think of all things to do, right? And
Yeah,
this is
of
one of the
course.
things, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
we came up with CrowsTail just to talk to people who, a little bit more about themselves, right? And
Yeah.
what they do and things like that. So this is not all about alcohol, right?
Well, wait,
not at all.
where do I start? From like way back from when I first met you, hoser?
Don't worry. I'm gonna go through it, and you'll be surprised because I'm gonna be showing you some stuff, right? And then we're gonna be talking about, my God, what a journey you've had, right?
Oh my gosh.
And it's still, it's still there rocking, and
Yeah.
we wanna hear all about it, right? 'Cause a lot of
Well,
people
who's this
out there-
guy? John. Hi, John.
Oh, sorry, yeah, John Joe.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Hi.
John Joe.
Sorry, it's
Forgot-
kind of rude of us to be like talking away.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Finding you at all.
Okay, it's all good. Don't worry.
So, we basically come up with, there's no real theme. We just talk about everything around you. And
Anything and
Yeah,
everything.
anything and everything. But we'll have some segments that are pretty fun. Just
Okay.
to get to know you a little bit better, right?
Of course. Like you don't know me well enough, hoser.
Okay, we can start, right?
Okay,
So,
let's start.
Here we go. This is episode number 8, John Joe. Am I right?
Ocho. Yes, it is.
Okay, and we have in the house Maritoni Fernandez, but I know her as Ton Antonita. How are you?
Hello, everybody. To hoser, I will always and have always been Antonita. But to the rest of the world, I am Maritoni Fernandez.
And we're going to talk
Good to be
about that,
here.
by the way. We're going to talk about that,
Yeah,
how the whole thing, transition, to Maritoni, right? But yeah, can you imagine? I've known you over 30 years.
God
It's
bless.
crazy.
Hoser,
I didn't wanna think about it.
I knew you before you had pubes, dude, okay?
Okay. Woo! This is how we're gonna start, huh? Okay. Okay. Well, look. This is how far back I'm gonna go. Right? Let's see.
Oh my
That's going way back, huh, Ton?
Yes, that
I
is.
mean, it was just Father's Day, right? It
Yeah.
was just Father's Day, and I saw you posted that.
Yeah.
Your dad. Okay. Moynihan.
Yes.
Antonita Moynihan,
That's right.
daughter of Sir or Lord? I'm confused.
Lord Moynihan.
Lord Moynihan. Okay, tell
Yes.
us about that because I really don't know the whole story, but I knew there was a Lord or Sir or something like that.
Yes. A lot of people get it confused. They think it's royalty. They think
Is it like there's a sword going like this?
well, no, that's
Is it like-
knighthood. That's
Okay.
knighthood. Okay.
That's like Sir Elton John or something,
yes,
right?
that's Sir.
Okay.
My dad
Okay.
was a lord, and basically, what lordship is way back is when somebody does something extra special for royalty. In my family, what happened was during Queen Victoria had a heart condition, and
Okay.
I had one of my great grandfathers. I can't even count anymore how many greats back. But one of my great grandfathers during the time of Queen Victoria was the one basically that saved her life. He was the very first surgeon who was
Wow.
able to perform open heart surgery successfully. And he was also
And we're
the
talking
same
about
doctor.
what year? What year is this?
This
This
is Queen Victoria's time nga eh.
Oh
Okay,
my
so we would
God.
all have to look it up, man. I don't even know if Victoria was alive, but it was during her lifetime that
Okay.
my grandfather then,
Right.
somewhere down my family line, he was able to perform open heart surgery on her successfully. And as a thank you, my great grandfather was given the title lordship.
That's
And of
awesome.
course, with the lordship comes land and all of that.
All of those
we
things,
read
yeah.
about it and we hear about it in all the in all the TV shows that we have now, right? I mean, like Game of Thrones has it and all of that. So it's kind of like a big thank you to this doctor that saved her life. And he was also the same guy that invented surgical gloves that we use today. So in my line, diba now everybody's wearing those rubber gloves. Exactly. So that actually was invented by someone from my line, my father's side.
I mean, I never knew these stories.
Pretty amazing,
Drinking
right?
since 30 years ago. I never even knew this story.
Well, these are things that's passed on to us as stories, and everything.
Yeah.
And as you get older, it's weird, Ozzy, when you're young, you don't care about stuff like that. Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, when's the next concert?
As you get older, you're like, what line ba did I come from talaga? And who was my great grandfather? So
yeah, you're right.
So you go back and you try to study where your heritage is from, and that's how I learned about it.
And do you have enough material? Like every family, they like their coat of arms or something.
Yeah, I do actually. It's been passed down from generation to generation. And I have my coat of arms sitting in my living room at home.
That's so cool. What are the symbols in the
there's the helmet of a soldier, an old, the head of the helmet.
knighthood, like the knight.
Yeah, the knighthood helmet. Yeah. Then it with its mouth open. Then there are 5 stars on top.
Oh, there's
and
one
there
behind
are 2
me
snakes
actually.
that cross on top. I mean, it's very, if you can Google it, it's right there. I mean, Moynihan crest, and you can see it. And then in the bottom, there's a Latin words, which I had translated. It means sunshine after rain, which I think is beautiful, right?
That is such a cool, did you know that? Moynihan means sunshine after rain. How positive, that's the best.
And it's been so evident in my life because through all the rain that has happened in my life, there's always sunshine after.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's actually the quote of our coat of arms.
That's an awesome story. I mean, those are the things you have to share. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go.
And of course, the thing is, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah.
I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm right
here.
So
in my personal life, what I've discovered is I've never been scared of blood. I'm not scared of dead people. So this is like the strangest thing coming from a girl.
You should have been a doctor instead.
There you go. And I told my mom this, all the time. I tell her, Mom, I'm not scared of blood. I don't get eked out, you know, I don't get freaked out by people who are, you know, like the corpses. I'm not freaked out by it at all. And
That's
apparently, it's most likely because I come from a line of incredible doctors. So
Wow.
I'm like, wow,
That's
sayang,
great.
I should have been a doctor.
Now I gotta see. Okay, the transition from Antonita Moynihan to Maritoni Fernandez. How the
Wow.
hell did that happen?
Well, you
Okay.
know, they say if you can't be a surgeon, you're gonna be an actor.
Okay, tell me all about it, because that's like wow. How
Oh
did that? I
man,
mean,
that was, well, Hoser, we've known each other that long already. Okay, I mean, I think I met you. I was just
because you were not.
starting.
Yeah, you were just starting.
Yeah, I think it was like
Yeah.
the year before, or probably the same year that I entered.
Right.
Basically, it was a means to an end.
Did
Alright.
somebody like approach you, like John Joe, right? Or you're talking
It was
about it in
Lollies,
another show?
Lollies,
Somebody
man.
approached you and said, ma'am, gusto. What did you say, John Joe, the last time?
I was walking
Fun.
in Green Hills. Okay, first
When
of
you
all,
get,
I
when you
was
get
educated.
scouted by an agent.
No, yeah, definitely. I went to
Gusto
school
mo
in
bang,
England, right?
Iha, gusto mo bang
When I got
sumikat?
back, I went to school in England, right? And I
Okay,
studied
yeah.
journalism. So
Okay.
basically, when I got back, I worked for then Senator Estrada, who, you know, Joseph Estrada. He was then a senator at the time. And he had a TV show called Hotline sa 13.
Okay.
Okay, which was like today's Tulfo. Okay, it was like that. And so my first gig ever was to be a field reporter under that Channel 13 Hotline 13. So one day I was walking around in Green Hills and this lady walks up to me and says to me, "Oy, hindi pa ikaw yung pamangkin ni Rudy Fernandez?" She says to me. And I'm like, opo, because I know Rudy is my mom's cousin. So,
Right.
she comes up to me and she says, "Gagawin na lang kitang artista." Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. And this was Lolly Solis, who was the manager.
But Ton, you never did acting in school or anything like that, did you?
I did plays, but not like anything like major. I did some, you know,
Okay.
I did Romeo and Juliet. I did yung mga ganon in school, okay?
Yeah.
Shakespeare
Okay.
plays. We had a beautiful stage in school in England, but I was never trained professional acting or anything.
There's your guapo.
Yan ang astig. The boy. Diba? He's known as the boy.
The boy. Yeah, that's
So
right.
my name, actually what happened was, so I said, okay, why not? Let's talk about it. We met up with, I told my mom about it. She was totally against it, Hoser. She was like, if you're going to be an artist, I'm not going to lift a finger to help you. In fact, she went one step further and talked to Rudy and told Rudy, wag mo tutulungan yan, ha? I swear.
Really? So no support, totally against.
None
and
at
said, okay.
all. None. So Lolliet said, okay, well, if you really want, I'll help you. That's when she took me to Lorna and Rudy. And Lorna is actually, Lorna Tolentino,
Yes.
wife of Rudy.
Yeah.
She's the one that baptized me Maritoni Fernandez.
Wow.
She gave me that name.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's where since then it stuck.
Stuck. And you know, she did this whole numerology thing and everything. And she said,
That's the reason why she chose those two names. I mean, it's just not from any.
No, it's Antonita Maria is my real name, right?
Correct.
So she used Maria for Marie and Antonita Tony. Maritoni Fernandez.
Wow.
So that's how the name came up. And then she was
See,
like,
I didn't know that. So finally, I do something.
Now you know. Now you know.
That's great. And then, okay, when you decided, okay, this is it, I'm coming in, you know, you're known to be the Contrabida. Why that? Why was that? Did somebody pick that for you because you look mataray? Or is it because you were comfortable doing that?
In fact, my first TV show ever was called Regal Family. It was called Okay Katol. It was a sitcom, Abby, Concepcion. It was with Rudolph Yappinchay,
Okay.
and I played Gabby's sister. So it was very clean. It was not contrabida at all. It was actually just like the sweetie pie, cutie pie, girl next door type of character. But I think what happened was that was the time that Sherry Hill got married and moved to Italy. Okay, we all know she married an Italian guy, right?
That's right.
And that's when there was a void in the industry for
On the
a good
for the
contrabida.
contrabida. There you go. You see, so you
And
had to
that's
fill
where-
that gap.
That's when Lolit said, okay, the industry has lost a Sherry, dito tayo papasok.
Oh, wow.
So dito kita ipepeg. And the rest is history. But, I did do comedy, I did do drama, I did a lot of action. I did a lot of action films.
Which, I mean, where are you the most comfortable? I mean, obviously you did more contrabida, so that's your go-to, that's your default.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I find contrabida quite challenging. Unbelievably, as you know me. Okay, but I think I'm most comfortable in action. Because you know me, I'm so athletic.
Yes, exactly. You're always on the go. You're like something.
Yes, I'm so go.
Your engine
right?
just revving up. Yeah.
Yes.
So okay.
And I love guns, right? You know that.
Yes,
I love guns. My dad had the biggest shooting range in the whole of Asia. So I was raised holding guns. So for me, it's natural. People would, they'd flinch when they pull the trigger. Me, I never flinch. So I had a great time. I never flinched when the bidas were flinching, right? And they're men.
Okay, I gotta ask you this: with all the, I mean, how many movies do you have a count? How many movies you've done?
Something over 70.
Okay, let me ask you. It must be it happens to everyone, right? What was your most embarrassing moment? Because I understand in a set, you can be two people acting in a scene, but there's how many people are around you? About 25?
Gosh,
more?
I've had many. Okay, but off the top of my head, okay.
I mean, what is the worst, most embarrassing?
Okay, one of the most.
Okay.
It's gotta be the top 3.
Okay.
I was doing a drama film. It was a mystery suspense thriller with Gabby again, Gretchen, and myself. No, sorry, not Gretchen. Maricel Laksa. And it was towards the end of the movie, and I was supposed to be shot. I fall into the pool, face down, okay, and supposed to be dead, right? Floating like that with the blood oozing out of you and everything. And then the last scene is, so everybody thinks you're dead. She stands by the pool. They're having their moment by the poolside, the lovers.
Yeah.
And I grab the leg of Marisa Laksa. So I'm not dead pala. Okay? Man, at that point, my freaking fake boob, padding pa nun diba? Padding. Freaking floats to the top of the pool.
Oh, shit. And this is all on film? This is all on a tape? Oh, my God. And people, of course, everyone's watching, cracking up.
Everybody's like, ah! So there I am, holding my breath, wondering what the hell, why are they cutting? Why are they cutting? I know I did my acting right. I know I fell in properly. I'm face down, and then I look up and I see these boobs.
They see a pair of boobies floating. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, but here's the thing. How about romantic films? Okay, I mean, that's probably if I were to be an actor, that would be the most stressful thing. Because you're trying to be
It's very
intimate.
stressful.
You're trying to be intimate, and then there's all these people watching, and it's hard.
Well,
right?
it's never romantic. Let me put it out there. It's never romantic. Okay? And the whole time you're doing your like kissing scene or whatever, first of all, it's never a real kiss. Okay? It's never like the way.
Yeah.
Yes, okay? It's all lip. Okay? So the thing is,
No
there have been a couple
lengua.
of times.
No.
There have been. No. I mean, there have been a couple times like that. But there's one time that happened to me. I bit the tongue of the guy.
Holy shit!
Oh, yeah.
Wait, I gotta hear this. You don't mention names, but I gotta hear this. So the guy tried to.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to
yeah.
He tried to lizard in his tongue, and you bit his tongue.
I think that taught him a lesson never to do that again.
Wow, man. That's so
trabaho
you.
lang.
That's so you. Boom!
Yeah, right? Trabaho lang, Jose.
Yeah, exactly. So
Diba?
yeah, that is tough, right? I mean, intimate
It's very
scenes.
tough.
It's
I mean, I've had to do in the past rape scenes, you know, and you have to trust the actor. I mean, I did one with Christopher De Leon when I was just starting. It was for a film called Hiram na Mukha. It was me, Christopher, and Nanette Medved. And that was a tough scene to do. But, you know, Christopher is very professional. And, you know, you wear a belt. So it's, you know, you're actually not actually naked.
Right.
But
here's the thing. Do you work
like you're naked? So
certain types of movies are bagay with certain directors, right? So
Yes.
is that how it works, right?
Of course.
I mean, who's the most comfortable director you've worked with?
For me, I've worked with several very good directors. I'm really blessed. One of my favorite is Chico Ronyo, of course. Okay, and Direct Joel.
Is it because he lets you do what you want? He
have
gives
the
you freedom?
but he's also very specific. So you don't have too much freedom. Okay, because it's also very difficult when you have too much freedom. You don't really know where to place yourself as an actor. Okay, so it's better that you have a certain amount of freedom, but within a certain amount of parameters. Okay, like for example, you walk into a room, he'll say, okay, these are your blocking areas. Whatever you do within these areas, bahala ka na. Okay? Or he'll tell you, okay, when you say this line, I want na by the time you're saying this line, umiiyak ka na.
Okay, that's tough, man. I mean, crying at will, you had to learn that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the training you have as an actor.
Yeah.
Diba? That's the training. And that comes with...
What do? You think of something really sad? Or can you do that? I mean...
Different actors use different methods. But what I do is I really try to put myself into the character. Because it's very hard to act. Okay? You don't act. Because if you act, it's really obvious on screen. You have to just be. So you know,
can't. You're already. It's too obvious now. You're like, this guy's trying too hard, right?
Yes, just be the character. You know, and put yourself in the character, feel the character. If you need to, try as much as you can to relate to it in real life. Like for example, if the scene is that your husband died, okay, and you're not married, so you never felt, or even if you are, you can't imagine your husband dying. You think of someone that has died that meant a lot to you.
Okay.
You know, so that's how you relate. And then you just imagine that that's the person that you lost or whatever. And it comes, it's natural. And with years of practice, like I've had,
I mean, really, you didn't go to acting school. This was
all experience. Have a lot of workshops locally. And I did a lot of workshops, especially when I was younger.
Wow.
It's required naman eh. They really make you go through that. Because they're banking on you as an actor. So they're going to spend on your training, of course.
Right.
Yeah, and then there's also several types of movies that they require you to be, kunyari, anak ko si Bea Alonzo, right? Which I've done several movies with Bea. If she's my daughter, we have to have that natural rapport. And that doesn't come naturally if, for example, you get on the set and you just met the person. How are you going to have that kind of bond?
Yeah,
so you
there's
have
a
to
chemistry,
have a workshop where you really start to feel connected, you know, and you open up to each other and you know each other's experiences and you know each other's triggers. For example, she knows one of my triggers is that I had breast cancer. So I have a fear of it coming back, then you can use everything that you've ever experienced in your real life. Those become tools. And the better you are as an actor, the easier it is for you to pick your tool.
Wow.
In any given scene. Diba?
I always thought that, crying at will, that's one of the hardest things, to do. Especially on a set where you're surrounded by all these people, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not real. So it's like, how the hell are you going to cry at will?
Real. That's your job, is that you have to know how to make it real. And you have to, that's why it's scary to go out with an actor, actually, because you never know whether they're acting it or it's real.
I think John Joe's a victim.
Really, John?
No.
Yeah, you could say
I am? Are you?
Oh, wow.
No, but
you want to share?
No, but I also went to acting school, so I know how it is to cry. Remember?
There you go.
I
There
studied...
is a certain amount always in your head as an actor that is, how far will I take this? Okay, there's always that. Like, for example, you're in an argument with a friend, okay? And there's always a moment as an actor, you're like, tama na ba to? Or dramahin ko pa ng konti?
Yeah, because you can get carried away as well.
Yes. And
I gotta ask you this question, because our director here, son of Saul, Iken.
Yeah.
Okay. He's done with college. He loves the movies.
Okay.
He loves being behind the camera. He's doing all of this.
Yeah.
And he loves acting.
Okay.
Right? So now he's back here. He wants to pursue acting seriously.
Okay.
What advice can you give this gentleman?
Can I see him muna?
Kenny, come on, buddy. There he is.
Wow, Pogi. You're on mute, sweetheart. There you go. Hey, honey.
Hey, nice to meet you.
You too. How old are you now?
22.
And you really want to be an actor?
Yeah, I'd love to. That's the goal for right now.
Do you know how to speak Tagalog?
Opo.
Fluent ka ba?
Oo naman, galing ako sa Lasal Green Hills.
Okay. So that's the number 1. Check ka na. Okay, number 1, fluent mag-Tagalog. Number 2, guwapo. Check ka rin doon.
Yeah, thank you.
Marunong, okay, mahiyain ka ba?
No.
Check. 3. Hoser, ikaw ang tatanungin ko dito. May personalidad ba yung batang yan?
Oh my God, this guy, he's done movies. He just, you know what? I'm gonna send you clips he's done, and it's really impressive. Okay. He's done it in the school, right? But the thing is, the States is one thing. You're in school, you're in college, you're now in the Philippines, right? And it's a whole different world.
Oh, it is.
You've been in that world, Ton, for so long.
Yeah.
So what are the landmines that you don't want to step in?
Oh,
there
okay.
Or there are too many to mention.
You know what? Honestly, showbiz is very simple. Once you're in, you're pretty much in. Okay? The only way you will last in showbiz is really basically 3 things. Number 1, huwag kang bobong artista. Given, right? That means know your lines when you come to the set, be professional.
Of course.
That goes with, of course, coming to set on time, every time. And when I say on time, that means at least 30 minutes before your call time. And when you come
Ton, do they really follow that? I hear really horror stories.
No, what I'm saying, Hoser, that's the point. Okay?
You should be the one.
You should be the one.
That's it. Because I'll tell you, the reason why it's been 30 years and I'm still getting offers is because I am professional. That's the number 1. Number 2, madali kang kasama. Di ka ma-arte sa set. Okay? Means, kahit na inumaga na sila, quiet ka lang.
Yeah, of course.
Huwag kang
Huwag kang, prima donna. Yeah.
Kasi among 100 people on the set, you're just 1 in 100 that they're trying to please.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So,
And
Pakisama is actually more important than galing. Okay? I'm telling you, pakisama is more important than galing. Because if there are two of you na artista, yung isa magaling na magaling, pero ang hirap pakisamahan, yung isa not so galing, pero hayop makisama, they will always choose the second one. And you will always last longer than the first one. Yung lumalaki ang ulo,
definitely.
No yan.
I mean, that's one of the things I learned while I was in college. You know, I mean, one of the cool things is we got to work in each position, right? Whether it was lighting or behind the camera, in front of the camera. So you really get to appreciate what each person's doing, even to the grip, right? The person that's carrying a tripod from here to there, you know. So yeah, definitely what you said, I completely agree with. It's more about
and you know, as actors, even new actors, imagine you're being paid like twice minimum of what a cameraman gets paid. Okay?
Yeah.
And those guys are there before you get there. They are there way after you leave. So, and they don't complain. So basically, what right do you have to complain?
Exactly.
Like the person that has the easiest job on the set is the artista. Just think of it that way. And if you're going to be sitting there complaining, wag ka na lang mag-artista.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, and they do talk. They do talk.
And the third but not the least thing really is know your lines. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the last but most also very important. Know your lines. Don't one of
those. How does it work? Are they really verbatim? I mean, you really have to know these lines.
Some yes.
Or you just get the theme of the thing and you can make it up. No way.
ABS is very verbatim.
Okay, there you go.
ABS is very verbatim. GMA, they give you a little leeway, but you have to. There are words in the lines that are a must. You have to say those words. And as a co-actor, for example, I'm an actor and you're on the set with me. I know my lines verbatim. So if you don't know yours verbatim,
balas, it sucks.
I won't know when to come in.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's considered unprofessional.
Yeah.
So it's definitely it's gonna show. It's gonna show when somebody.
You also have to be very fluid. I mean, like if on the set suddenly the director comes up and says, "Oh, ayoko yung pagkasulat nito, baguhin natin yung lines."
Boom, just do it. Yeah.
You have to be quick. You have to be open. You have to be quick to learn your lines right away again. Because sometimes you have dialogue this long and then they get to the set and they just go, tanggalin na yan. Hindi nagsasense yan. Okay? And then you memorized it like you took 2 hours just to memorize that whole thing. And then yung pala, one line na lang ang matitira.
Oh, man.
At least.
Minsan you're like, shit, ano ba yan? Nag-memorize pa ako. But sometimes it's baliktad. Sometimes yung kaarte mo bobo. Okay? So, ang gagawin ng director, ikaw na lang sumabi niyan. Ikaw na lang, line mo na lang yan. Saluhin mo na lang.
Yeah.
You realize everything.
I can imagine.
It's time pressure. It's on, production cost. They have to always consider everything.
And
have you ever line produced when you were studying?
Line produced, meaning we're making different films at the same time?
No, I mean you're in charge of everything in production. You're the line producer.
The most important person on set.
Yeah.
I mean, at the most I've done is probably right here, producing this podcast in the sense of producing wise. But on set, no, I haven't. I have never been the producer.
Because that's something that you definitely should experience, even just once. Because once you've experienced line producing, you will appreciate being an actor. Because the line producer, once you know what a line producer has to do, oh man, you will appreciate all the simplicity of being an actor.
I was just talking.
I guess you know what you have to talk to all these on set. You know what to say, and you know what I mean. What each guy does.
Of course.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, at first you don't. When you're a newcomer or whatever, you don't. But you should make it a point to, because when it's like you appreciate them for what they do, even if it's just the staff that brings you your coffee. You know, I mean, you have to keep in mind that that guy was on the set at 4 o'clock this morning when your ass wasn't even called in till 10. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that, you know, it took me years to appreciate that, which is why I'm telling you as early as now, because these are the, like you said, what were my mistakes. Those are my mistakes. I mean, Hoser, my first interview ever, Regal Films. I'm being launched. I'm in front of all the press. The press asked me, so Maritoni, what do you think you can attribute or add to the showbiz industry? Guess what I said?
What?
Class.
Nice, good answer. Class.
Boom, in your face. They hated me from the get-go. Right?
But that's exactly where you entered. You know, diba? Being taray, being exactly that. They
without
love
even,
to hate you.
without even
They
trying,
love to
buddy,
hate
okay?
you. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, so in your face. I mean, if they had done that now, for example, you asked me that now, I would have been like, well, sana po, ma-reach ko yung mga katulad nila, and I would have said whatever, right? I mean, I would have had a totally much more showbiz answer.
Exactly.
Okay? But back then, I didn't know any better. And I really, from the very get-go, it was like baptism of fire.
Okay, now let me ask you about this. So now you get famous, right? And you're public property, right? So initially, the fans and all that, was that great? How did it feel? You know, you being famous and being known everywhere, and they call your name, and you know
what I think?
how's that like?
I think, Hoser, the reason why I don't consider myself like most actors in that sense, because I'm not a child star. So I didn't grow up an actor. I was educated abroad. I came here. For many years, I didn't feel comfortable being an artista. Because you know me from way back, right? From before I was an artista. And I'm so comfortable in my own skin that I don't really adjust very well. Okay? So when people start to ooh and ah over you, you're kind of like, is it what? Are they doing that because of me? Why? You know, it's like that. Until later on, you realize na, ibang mundo to. And even then, you have to realize that you have to just learn how to become that person that they see you as.
Got it.
Okay?
Got
So
it.
even that is another facet of acting. Okay? So it's like a hat you have to put on. Okay?
But even if you're I mean known to be the contrabida, I mean you still have fans, and they well, the people who love to hate you.
Definitely,
because,
definitely.
I mean they're still out there, right?
I mean,
yeah.
I haven't been acting in 3 years. The last show I did was 3 years ago, and still everywhere I go, it's still like that. But it's because I've put in 30 years of my life into it.
Exactly.
You know? And
Yeah.
when you've been doing it longer than than half your life, literally, how can you not, wala ngang sulok sa mundo na hindi ka nakilala. Diba?
Exactly.
I mean, I
Look at
remember
that. I mean, you can see it. The picture in the left. Talagang, oy, pare.
Kontrabida.
Kontrabida. Well, let's move on. Here we go. We're gonna be doing this thing called CrowsTails. Basically, it's do-it-yourself Crow's cocktails. So, but we're gonna just see. We're gonna give you choices of making a cocktail, and John Joe is gonna be recreating your very own recipe, right?
Okay.
Not now, but he'll make magic when the time comes, right? So this is brought to you by obviously our gin, Crow's
Of course.
Gin. It's the first Filipino craft gin. You know that, right?
I do.
And you know that we won.
I do.
Time? Okay.
I'm so proud of you, Hoser.
Pinoy pride. Pinoy pride. Here we go. So, first, you have to pick only one. Okay? So, from among the juice that's out there, you gotta pick one.
Dalandan.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. So, John Joe,
I'm
lock
taking
that
notes. I know. I'll take
in.
Got it.
Fresh fruit.
It's got to be strawberry. Come on.
Yum. Okay. This might be already created, this drink or something. But let's see. Syrup.
Sugar.
Sugar water. Okay.
Yep.
And last, which herb do you choose?
Ooh, I'd go with mint.
Mint. Nice. Okay. Shaken or stirred?
Shaken.
Alright. So, John Joe, we're gonna create that. That's your recipe. That's your drink. Okay.
Yeah. This is very, very good. I was worried it was gonna be crazy.
Ton, we've got to talk about this one. We got to talk about this.
Yes,
This was one hell of a journey.
Yeah.
It's probably the single most scariest thing anybody would go through, right? So, Ton, how old were you when you found out that something was wrong? I mean, not yet diagnosed, just I mean, how do you find that out that something's wrong?
I first felt a lump right after I gave birth to Alexi. I was 26 when I gave birth to her. So a few months after, I already felt a lump, but I didn't do anything about it. I just thought it was normal. So when I turned 30, I went to see a specialist, and they told me that it's nothing to worry about. You know, we'll just cut a little incision, take it out, and you'll be fine. And then later that year, my mom fell very ill, and she was hospitalized, and I was the one watching over her in the hospital. And you know, when you're in the hospital and your mom's asleep in the hospital room and you're bored, you kind of like start to wonder, like, what can I do here kaya? Maybe I should get my blood work. Maybe I should, you know me, Hoser. Okay, I'm like that, right? I'm like, let's get a brain scan. Andito na rin lang, diba? Okay, I know, I'll get a mammogram. So just so happened that I went to get a mammogram the day she was released from hospital. I ran around all the clinics in the hospital where I had this done, that done, the other thing done, everything. And then when my mom was hospitalized, I went around all the clinics in the hospital. And there happened to be a breast clinic. So I decided that, that lump that I had been feeling for a while, maybe I should get it checked out. So I did.
Tell us what happened after that.
Grabbed all the results and I stuffed it in my bag and I forgot about it. And then a couple weeks later, my mom and dad decided that they needed to get a second opinion, send my mom to the States. And since my dad was running the whole campaign for Rudy Fernandez at that time, because he was running for mayor of QC, me being the eldest, they sent me with my mom to the States. So, cut a long story short, my uncle told me in the States that I should get a biopsy done. This was after my mom was cleared of everything that they thought she had here. And long story short, they told me I had full-blown cancer.
What stage did they tell you
Stage 2.
Stage 2. And these things go really fast, right? They go real fast.
Super fast. And because I was very young, they were very scared because the younger you are, the more aggressive the cancer normally. And basically, they told me that if I had not gone with my mom and had not gotten checked, in 6 months, it would have been too late.
So that's why you're an avid, I mean, right now, you're one of the most, your advocacy, outspoken, cancer survivor. And you're telling everyone, you better get yourself checked. Yeah,
because, Poser, when I first got back from all my treatments, what I noticed kasi in the Philippines was that people who'd had it were very hush-hush about it. It was like, nobody wants to talk about it. It was like, it was kept secret. And I couldn't understand why. So I really made it my advocacy to really tell and show people that, if you catch it early enough, you can and you will live a full life. And
look at your pictures. It's all over the press, right?
I think I'm one of the first people. I would like to believe that I'm one of the first people who removed that stigma of shame that came with having breast cancer. I would like to believe that that's one of the legacies that I will leave behind, from my life, is that
Right.
that I am one of the first people who made because of my platform, because I am an artista.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was able to use that as a stepping stone to instill no fear, or at least let people know that just because you have breast cancer doesn't equal death, or that there is life after breast cancer, and it can be a beautiful full one.
Right.
you know
Right.
and
Right.
and people, and because I had breast cancer, I went back to work after, and people could see that, hey, you don't have to keep it secret. You can actually work and survive this ordeal at the same time.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I
Correct.
joined I Can Serve, which is a cancer survivor foundation.
Yeah, I wanted to talk. I mean, well, the foundation's another thing, but which came first, the the barley
Barley or the foundation.
or
Actually,
the
the barley came first because it was during my treatments that I discovered barley.
right,
It was during the time that I was doing my chemotherapy that I discovered. Well, you know how it is. When you're sick, you want to learn everything about what you have, right? Obviously, because knowledge
right.
is power. So what I did was I was in reverse isolation during the time that I had cancer, because I was really, really touch and go. There was a time when after my first chemotherapy, I really thought I was a goner, because they had put so much chemo in my system that, being I'm not exactly a big girl. They gave me up for a 300-pound man.
What?
So my system just like practically
So,
shut down.
so that's all the toxins in your
Yeah,
body. It's killing
yeah.
you. So you needed something to revive that.
To
So
reverse,
yeah, to reverse everything. So
yeah.
who introduced you to barley?
No one.
It's something you read.
I read it online. It was really, I really attribute it as a gift from God, Hoser, because, number one, what you need talaga to fight a sickness as hard as cancer is you need to have a lot of faith. You need to have very strong faith in the Lord, and you need to believe in your heart and in your mind that you still have a purpose in life.
So
And
and then this thing, but this was a real blessing to the point that it took you, wow,
it took off.
global, right?
Oh
It took
yeah,
off like
it
crazy.
took off. I mean, it was a gift I received during the worst time of my life, and during the time that I really thought, wala na, that's it. I'm at the end of my life. And
Right.
I discovered it online, and I used to smuggle it into the hospital when I'd have chemotherapy sessions, and because I discovered that after the first time I took it, you know, I had 4 chemo treatments, 4 sessions. The first one, I didn't take it yet. Okay, I had 21 days to recover. Otherwise, they wouldn't give me the second treatment.
Right.
And that means your white blood cells are completely wiped out. And if they don't recover by the second date of your second treatment, you're back to your first.
Oh
Basically,
man.
the first one is scratch. You have to start over. So I had to find a way to build up my immunity enough to meet that 21-day deadline. Okay. So the first treatment, I was like 2 days off of my deadline. So I was barely alive again, barely normal. And they had to shoot me with my second one. So by then I was like, you know what, I'll try anything. Because I can't do another 21 days and then fail and then be back to zero.
So all of this, your hair's falling, you're
Oh
feeling like
yeah, your hair
crap.
falls off like
The
within the first 2 weeks.
the nausea is like bad.
Horrible, horrible. I'm sure you've seen
Oh.
it in movies,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
not in
yeah,
real life,
exactly.
you know.
Exactly, exactly.
So I
So
mean,
then
yeah,
so when did you start taking the
right
barley?
after my first chemo was done. I mean, on my second chemo, I started na. And I took it, I smuggled it, I drink it 3 times a day. And would you believe the normal, imagine 21 days, my first treatment. I recovered on the 19th day. Meaning, on the 19th day, I finally could get out of bed and walk to the banyo on my own.
Wow.
Okay?
That's what a story. That's
So on the
awesome.
second treatment, it took me 4 days and I was on my feet na.
Wow.
4 days.
So I mean, you were so sold to this because of what happened to you that
How can I
you
not
became the
imagine?
evangelist for this thing,
Yeah.
man. That's why I mean you're Barley Queen, right? That's what they
Yes.
call it.
I really am, and I'm proud of
Barley
the title
Queen.
because
I
you know
love it,
that's really what it was really God's gift, Jose. If I
Yeah.
didn't find that barley, there was a time I remember I told my doctor after my first chemo, I told him, Dr. Kunli, I won't die of cancer. I'll die of chemo.
Yeah.
It's the chemo that will kill me.
Right. Makes
It's
sense
that
because it's
it's
killing all your good cells as well, right?
horrible.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really, really horrible. It's like a bomb went off, but from inside.
So how many years has it been? You've been
Wow,
a
I'm on my
survivor.
20th year, Jose.
20th year.
Yeah.
Wow,
Very
that's
good.
unbelievable,
Very
man.
good.
That's really wow, galing. And that's
Amazing.
why I mean now I'm sure you've had a lot of testimonies as well from
Oh
people
yeah.
who
So
followed your
many.
yeah.
And the thing is, it's fun off because when I got back, I'd have friends that were going through the same thing I was, and I told them about it. I tell them take the barley, and I give them. But I have a very good friend who was a yoga teacher, and she asked me for some barley, and she gave it to her students after her yoga class. And turns out that one of her students was the daughter of the owner of SM. And
Wow.
she owns Watson's nationwide.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
she
there you
came to
go.
me. Yeah. So my friend said, do you wanna supply Watson's? And I'm like, no. I don't know anything about that. Well. And then she said, well, they'll do everything for you as long as you are willing to give the product to them. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
And boom.
And
That
then
was
from
it.
Watson's, it was like all the money in the world that I had, okay, in the bank. And I really literally had to create products that would cover all their stores nationwide.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Imagine they have almost 2,000 stores nationwide. Okay. So I
Yeah,
had
they're
to
in
cover
every yeah. The
supply
footprint
for
is
all their
huge.
stores. And
Yeah.
there's no guarantee. It's only consigned. So what if it doesn't move?
Yeah, but then you're the personality behind it. Of course, it's gonna move.
Yeah, but
Right?
you don't know that at that
driving down
point.
EDSA, I see a billboard.
No,
of
no,
you,
now
right?
na yan, now na yan. That's been a while. That's been 20
Yeah,
years. But
yeah. But I
but
remember seeing it. Yeah.
when you're first starting out and that's all you've got, it's really just it's a gamble. And
Yeah.
it's by faith. It just so happened that I had almost the exact amount of money I needed to cover all their stores. But I had an income. So I figured, if worst case scenario it doesn't sell, at least I still have my money from my paycheck.
Of course. Yeah.
Diba? So
I
it
mean,
was
you
like,
do what you have to do, and at least it's something that you're so sold with. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
worked
I
on
figured,
you, and that's the easiest thing to sell, right?
yes.
When you believe in the product,
Well, the
right?
thing is, if it works for you,
Yeah.
then you're your own testimony.
Yeah. Well, we've got a segment that I want you this one has got this is something brought to all of us by Ole. This is our new beer.
Wow. Get me some of that. I want to try that.
Ole!
Ole, ole, ole. Nice. I want to try that. Looks good.
Now this one, the story here is that this is our first session beer. So it's a session beer, so it's really for people who don't like the whole alcohol thing. So this is below 5%.
Oh, okay.
And we make this with Diap.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make you and Mon try. You gotta try this. Because
Yeah.
it's very refreshing. It comes in a big 500 ml bottle. And Monse and my Tony, they don't drink beer, right? When they tried this,
They loved it.
yes, so it's like a shandy. You gotta try it.
Oh,
You gotta
well,
try
then
it.
You gotta send me a cake.
I will. Okay, so this segment is called This or That. So basically, we're going to be presenting you with 2 pictures. And you can only choose one of them.
Okay.
You just say this or that, right?
Okay.
Okay, here's the first. Joan Jett or Pat Benatar?
Pat!
Okay, you know the songs, right, that they used to play. John Joe, do you even know who these people are?
No, he won't.
No, I don't think so.
He won't.
His mic's off.
Parang nilagay they could be John Joe's ex-girlfriends.
I have, yeah, actually, that's why I have bad reputation on Vine.
Okay.
Oh, they're my son.
I used to be a radio DJ.
Come on.
So, honestly, I thought you were going to choose Joan Jett.
Why?
Because it's like, I love rock and roll. And I thought you were like,
and
yeah.
she's more contrabida. She was more.
So that's more contrabida than love is a battlefield.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's good. That's good. John Joe, do you know these 2? You have the record?
I have the vinyls of Joan Jett. In fact, my ex was called the Joan Jett of the Philippines.
Kakasabi ko nga ba eh. He dated them.
Yeah. Who is that?
Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, are you an eagle or a cougar? No pun intended.
Oh, I am so an eagle, babe. I soar high.
You're picking everything else that I thought you'd be.
Not the answer he was looking for.
Hoser, I like to have a bird's eye view of everything.
That's good. That's good psychology. Okay, how about you, John Joe? You'd pick the cougar?
And I guess more than anything is that I'm really protective over the people I love. Okay?
So yes.
Which is why I'm more an eagle.
By the way, there was one thing I read in your bio.
Yeah.
I never knew you knew how to speak Mandarin.
Of course.
When the hell did that happen?
For 2 years.
Sample.
I gotta hear a sample, man.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. Say anything you want. Then you tell us the translation. Go.
I'll just say, what's in the hen hao xing, 我在这里跟你们讲. Okay, that means I'm really happy to be here talking to you guys tonight.
No way, Don. When did this happen?
Wow.
I was 10 years old. My dad sent me to Taipei. Don't ask me why. It's, he had great foresight.
Holy cow, that's so cool, man. So I mean, you can
there for 2 years.
So business and all that with the Chinese, you understand every word they say. But I mean, writing's a whole different story. Right?
I used to be able to write really well, but of course now I'm so out of practice, I don't anymore.
But you can still remember the language, and do you practice it once in a while?
Well, sometimes I watch it on TV, but I have some Chinese friends still up to now that I can
That's
practice
good.
with.
That's good.
Yeah.
Next, Ellen or Oprah?
I am so
This
Ellen.
or that?
I'm so Ellen.
You're so Ellen, huh?
Yep.
You gotta go.
Why?
Because she's not as uptight.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. She's not as uptight. She feel good talaga. She's not trying hard feel good. She's light.
Yeah, makes sense. Good answer. Are you for the wine or the gin and tonic? Hard choice.
Can I have both?
I think, you know what? I understand your dilemma here. It's a mood situation.
Yes,
right?
it is.
It's a mood.
I really have moments where I really like gin, and there are days when I just really want to have a glass of wine.
Makes sense. That's actually, this is actually very difficult. I mean, depends on the time of day, the situation. You're having a good dinner, you have wine.
Look, I'm having a steak, it's wine all the way.
What about right now?
I'm having fun with my girlfriends, it's gin.
Right now. Exactly.
Right
what
now,
would you take?
Gin.
Yes. Cheers to that.
Oh wait, crow's gin.
Yeah.
I think we use as the teaser.
Okay, this one I gotta hear.
Ooh.
So is it with scruff or clean shaven?
Scruff all the way. Sorry. Sorry. Take a look at my baby here, okay? It's scruff all the way. I don't like that pretty boy look too much.
Good answer. Good answer. Look at all of us here. Look at John Jones, man. He's got a carpet growing out of him.
I know.
Okay, this
There
one.
can only be
As
one
an actress.
between us,
As
okay?
an actress.
What now? What?
I said there can
what's
only
the-
be one pretty between us. It's gotta be me.
Yeah,
Right? We
we'll
don't
give you
want
that. We'll give you
competition.
that. We'll give you that.
I already know the answer. For
Of
sure.
course, the first one.
Oh, see?
I'm such a romantic.
stop.
Come on.
No, but I'm talking about the acting.
Bro, you don't know anything. You don't know anything.
In acting, so even the first one, huh? I thought you.
No, in acting, it's the second one.
Ah.
Of course, in acting, it's the
okay.
second one.
That's what I meant, Ton. I didn't mean
Oh,
in
okay.
real life.
I thought you meant in life. Okay, in
Oh,
life,
that's why I said, yeah. No,
definitely.
definitely that, right? That's
Yeah.
you, man. I can see you swacking somebody
Oh,
in the
yeah.
face. You've
It's
done
so
it many times.
satisfying. Especially when you envision someone that pissed you off.
Man, exactly, right? But I mean, do you actually? No, you don't, right? Or
No.
no, you
Ah,
don't.
you mean, do I actually physically hit them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did they let you?
you do.
Oh, wow.
You do.
Then I'd
I could
hate
tell
to be
you
in the
some
opposite
stories.
side receiving your swag.
Okay, look, I've had times when I've been working with somebody that has offended another actor friend. Okay? And I know why they were offending my friend. And I have a scene with them, and I tell my friend, the next one's gonna be for you.
Wow. And you just let it out. Bam!
The best part is when the director turns around and says, you think we can do that again?
Another take. Holy shit. Ton, it's been a pleasure. We've actually, there's so much material here and there's so much we've learned from you. We really appreciate your time. I know you're all over the place, right? I mean,
Hi, Hoser.
You're all over
where
the
you
place.
anytime. Where's my best friend? Where's Sol?
Sol is Sol. Come here. She's heard the whole podcast, so she's right here.
Hey.
Hola.
I have a busted shoulder.
Why?
Not my fault, huh? It's not my
Nadaganan ka ni Hoser?
Not my fault. But yeah, she's been in pain
Why?
for a while. It's a frozen shoulder.
Oh,
So,
no.
Yeah, it's
You
one
know
of those
I'm
things.
also matapang, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
another
babe.
matapang
I
again.
know. Takes one to know one.
It takes one to know.
Exactly, huh?
Okay, Ton. Because I'm gonna keep calling you Ton, not
Of
as in
course.
Antonita, because that's who I know, right?
That's who you know.
But
Exactly.
we thank you so much for being here in Crow's Talk.
You're
And
super welcome.
I hope we have another
You
time.
repeat this na lang. Just cut this again.
Okay, what?
Let's have
You're
a
giving-
normal Zoom meeting. I have a headache now.
Yeah.
But let's just have like hello.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm never on the screen for this thing, but let's do kwentuhan.
Yes, let's.
Diba? Okay, wait. I miss you too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But stay
Yes,
well. You guys stay well. And then after this whole thing, we'll go to the beach.
Exactly, but wait, they have to make this more parang whatever they do, the professional
Editing.
editing. He can do, so I'll get out for a while. He'll edit. Wait, you say what you have to say. Alright.
Yeah, we should, I hope this whole COVID thing, and I don't like talking much about it, Ton, because it's such a bummer.
It's so depressing.
But,
actually, the thing I've found out about myself, Hoser, is since this COVID thing has happened, I've tried to discover what within myself is different from when it wasn't COVID.
right.
And you want to know something? Not much. That's how quiet I live my life pala normally.
You know what? You just said exactly what Saul said to me about this whole COVID thing.
Yeah,
this is exactly her life. She loves it like this way. Yeah.
This is how I live my life, which is probably why we're such good friends,
Yeah.
But you know, the only thing I miss is number one, traveling.
Yeah, that traveling is hard not to
Going
have,
to
right?
San Francisco, visiting where you want to visit.
Oh, yes.
That's what I miss. And going to the beach. Other than that, I don't miss anything else. I really don't.
Yeah.
This is really how I live my life anyway.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, that's for the sake of humanity. I hope this thing blows over.
Yeah, me too. I mean, of course, for the sake of humanity and for all our sanity, because
and all our sanity.
It's driving me crazy that I can't go and visit my daughter in Australia.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
I miss her so much, Hoser. And I'm such a mother hen.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
I really am. So.
Yeah. But that's great, Ton. Hey, thank you very much for
You're
all
very welcome.
for everything.
I had a great time.
Thank you
And
so
the
much.
cutie pie over there,
this.
look me up after COVID. We'll get you sorted.
I will. Thank you so much. I will.
Right? Love you, sweetie.
Thanks.
I love you too. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ton.
Love you
Bye.
guys. God bless. Bye.
Bye.